All right, so hey guys, what's going on, y'all? I'm sitting up here enjoying a nice cup of joe, meditating, and something laid on my mind for people about generational traumas and generational hurt and generational curses. Okay, so I'm about to give you a story about my mother and my father, and the time that he took me over to his mistress's house and my mom found out. All right, so first off, let me introduce you to my dad. This is my dad, guys. Nice looking fella. This is my dad. He was I would say a Rolling Stone. He was a big man. They called him Wolf. He's still living though, so not to say called, but he's still alive, but he just 70. And this is my mom back in the day. And this is one of my old scrapbooks that I used to do. I used to do scrap booking. So this book is very old. Now story time. Y'all love my stories. This is Vasori stories. So before I get started in the story and what happened, I want to tell you that generational curses is so true, and I broke mine. Our generational curse, one of the ones in the family, is where the men cheat on their wives and the wives stay longer or they don't never leave. Okay? My grandmother did that with my grandfather. He had outside children. My mom did that with my father. Yeah. And then it trickled down to me where my first husband was cheating on me, but guess what? I broke the curse because I divorced that ass and I walked away from it. Let's talk about it. Thank you. Got a lot of likes. So this particular time where my mom and dad, they were married. They got married at a young age, but my dad was a nice looking man. All the women wanted Wolf. But my dad, instead of telling these women I'm married to my mom, he loved the attention and he did what most men do. Started having affairs with these women. So one particular time, and I remember this vividly, even though I was probably about 2 or 3, but I remember my mom doing this. That's crazy, right? So my mom had to work, and my dad had to take me to the doctor. Don't know why, but I remember him taking me to the doctor. He did it. And then we went over this lady's house, and she lived in a trailer. I'll never forget it. When we walked in, I remember him coming over to the side of the car, get me out the car. He picked me up, just like dads do. And she had steps. We go up the steps and we go in her home. I remember noticing that the house was completely dark. No lights on whatsoever. And he sat me, when you come in, it's the living room and the kitchen was on the right, and it was a hallway where I guess all the rooms were. My dad sat me down on the chair, and I'm so little where my feet didn't even hang off the chair. That's how little I was. And I remember him saying to me, "Tree, sit right there. I'll be right back. Don't move, okay?" And I just shook my head, and I looked at the woman, and they walked down the hallway towards the bedrooms. So now that I'm older, I knew they was probably going to screw or something. Next thing I know, I sat there for a minute. I almost went to sleep. Next thing I know, I hear, "Beep, beep. Wolf, I know you in there, motherfucker. Give me my baby." That was my mama. That was my mama. So I hear a loud bang. Y'all tell me why. My mama had a yellow Mustang. The old Mustangs. The yellow Mustang. She ran her car in that lady's, not her house, but on the steps towards the house. I don't know if she broke anything, but I heard a loud crash. I heard my daddy run in the room. "Pat, you crazy." That's my mom's name. "Pat, you crazy. Wolf, You in that fucking her, blah, blah, blah. Give me my motherfucking baby. I don't remember my mama getting me or my daddy grabbed me and coming out the house. That part I don't remember. But when I tell you, after that situation, everything goes dark. I don't remember what happened after that, y'all. So I can't tell you. But I do remember that situation happened. And we need to not do things like that. My mom carries that to this day. All the hurt, all the pain my daddy done did to her, all of this, all of that. She still lives in that trauma. My mom is 70 years old, y'all. 70. And she still talks about what my dad did to her. I can talk to my daddy today, and my daddy would say, your mama crazy. He still say that now. But I be wanting to tell him, well, daddy, some of the things that happened, you kind of caused it. But when you think of it too, my daddy can't live in my mama's body. So if you allow him to still trigger you after all these years, then you might be a little crazy. I could see both sides. But for me, as a woman now that who I am, I'm not going to allow anything that from my past to control my course in my future. And sometimes I try to talk to my mom, but she got a wall up so high, y'all, that I be like, oh my God, I'm just talking to myself. I'm not. And I don't. She totally still blames my dad. And he left when I was 8 months old. That's what I hear. And then they got back together. And then they broke up again. And then they got back together. It's just like a wheel. Who was doing that? Nobody. And to tell y'all the truth, my dad, neither one of them got married again. But my dad went on with another woman. She done passed away years ago. He lives his life for him. Where my mom is broken in silence. She ain't met no man since my husband. Not a real relationship. Not my husband, since my father. Not a real relationship. Generational curses. So, when I got married the first time, I thought that he was the love of my life. I loved that man. But he was a cheater just like my daddy. And I stayed in it longer than I should. But guess what? When I got my mind right, I was sick in my mind and I got my mind right. Man, fuck you and them hoes. It was back and forth, back and forth. And I noticed, that's what my mom used to do. Back and forth with my dad. You fuck around on me, have an affair. I find out. You say I'm sorry. I take you back. It's good for a couple of months. I hear about another woman. You say you're sorry. Baby, look. That roller coaster ride, emotional roller coaster. Let me the fuck off. I got off. I refuse to allow anybody to be in my life that is disturbing my peace, my mood, and my balance. That's my slogan. That's my statement. And that's how I'm going to live. These generational curses that we have trickled down from the matriarchs, especially as women. I'm talking as a woman. And we take on that. And it's engraved in our veins to do that. Break that shit off. That's a curse. That's a curse. I'm telling y'all. And until you break it, it's going to keep happening. And then when you have a daughter, she going to do the same thing. She going to have a daughter, she going to do the same thing. Until we break that and show a different light when they are growing up. Stop taking these men back. I'm a one-hitter quitter. It only take one time for me, because I'm going to set the declaration when you meet me. Because my husband now, he knows it's a boundary. I tell any other woman you want to talk to and do anything with, she can have you. I'll walk on. I ain't even mad, fam. Because I know what you lost. Okay. So, guys, that's my story about my dad and my mom and the generational curses that we allow. Break it at the root. Fix your root and you'll fix your life. Find the root cause, y'all. So I'm about to go. I love y'all. I don't want this to be too long, but I'll be back with another one. Y'all know how I do. Peace and blessings. Bye, y'all.